As the bold and the beautiful unfolds during one of its most emotionally charged arcs yet, the consequences of Ridge Forrester's eternal indecision finally come crashing down on Taylor Hayes. For years, Taylor believed she and Ridge had a chance, an authentic, lasting connection not built on history alone, but on real, mutual respect and future plans. But the moment Ridge pulls Brooke Logan from the treacherous waters of Capri, the truth resurfaces with brutal clarity. Ridge was never fully hers. He never stopped orbiting Brooke. Now, with fate tipping the scales, Ridge is once again drawn back to the woman he's hurt and been hurt by countless times before. And Taylor? She's left shattered, alone, and forced to accept a truth she tried for too long to ignore. Ridge will never truly choose her. It begins with hope. Taylor still clings to the promises Ridge made, the shared dreams, the long talks, the moments where it felt like they were building something solid. She believed in their future. She trusted that this time it would be different. That Ridge had finally turned a page. But history repeats itself with cruel precision. Taylor wanted permanence. What she got was another chapter in the saga of Ridge and Brooke. As Ridge once again veers back toward the gravitational pull of Brooke's presence, Taylor sees the cracks forming. She senses it, but resists the truth. Until it's too late. The turning point is swift and undeniable. After the dramatic events in Italy, the rescue, the emotional reunion, the vulnerability between Ridge and Brooke, Ridge is no longer teetering. He makes his choice. He confirms what Taylor has feared all along. He may have shared tender moments and warm promises with her, but when his heart speaks, it says Brooke. Ridge tries to soften the blow. He tells Taylor he never meant to hurt her, that he's not erasing what they shared. But his words are empty now. She's heard them before. She's lived through them before. What Ridge fails to understand is that this time, Taylor allowed herself to fully believe. She let her guard down. She thought she had finally won the one man she'd chased and waited for, endured heartbreak after heartbreak to be with. The betrayal hits harder than ever. It isn't just about losing Ridge. It's about the humiliation. The public unraveling of their future. Taylor's face tightens with pain when the news breaks. Ridge and Brooke are officially back together. The image of their fresh beginning spreads like wildfire through the Forrester circles, and Taylor is left standing in the ashes of a relationship that never had a fighting chance. It's not the first time Ridge has shattered her heart, but it might be the last straw. The disappointment turns to bitterness. Taylor begins to question everything, her instincts, her judgment, her worth. She gave Ridge her trust again, and he squandered it again. And worse, he does it as if history hasn't been screaming warnings for years. Ridge always returns to Brooke. No matter the damage, no matter the cost, he can't help himself. Taylor was simply the detour, not the destination. She begins to see that her belief in Ridge's love was nothing more than a self-made illusion. She was fooling herself, hoping for a different outcome from the same tired script. As the realization sets in, Taylor retreats inward. Her hurt festers, morphing into something darker. She feels played, used, discarded. She can't bear to stay in Los Angeles, not while Ridge and Brooke parade their reunion like a badge of eternal love. The same old love, the same old mistakes, only now, Taylor refuses to be part of the background scenery. She wants out. Not just out of the relationship, but out of the city that suffocates her with reminders of everything she's lost. At the same time, Steffi Forrester has already made the decision to leave town temporarily. With children in tow and personal reasons layered behind her calm exit, Steffi announces she's stepping away. And for Taylor, this opens a door. Steffi's departure isn't just a daughter leaving, it's an invitation. A way for Taylor to escape too, to take a break from the agony of seeing Ridge hand his future to another woman. The idea of staying behind, of witnessing the revival of Bridge, is unbearable. Taylor doesn't want to watch her own erasure unfold in real time. So, Taylor begins packing. The house, the office, the life she built in LA, all of it suddenly feels hollow. She tells herself it's temporary, a break, time to regroup. But deep down, she knows she's running. Running from Ridge. From heartbreak. From the shame of believing once again that she mattered enough to be chosen. Her decision isn't dramatic or loud. It's quiet. Painfully quiet. A whisper of defeat in a life once filled with fight. As she prepares to go, Ridge is haunted by guilt. He didn't want this. He never wanted to hurt Taylor. But Ridge has never been good at avoiding collateral damage. He insists that he still cares, still respects her, still values their history. But for Taylor, those words are meaningless now. What good is respect when it ends with rejection? What good is caring when it leaves her in pieces? Eric Forrester quietly echoes what Ridge now knows in his heart. Brooke was always the endgame. Eric tried to tell him, tried to steer him toward clarity. Ridge denied it, until the moment Brooke nearly died in his arms. That's when it all crystallized. Who he was, who he is, who he's meant to be with. It's always been Brooke. No matter how chaotic, how flawed, how repetitive, it's Brooke. Taylor may be the calm, the comfort, the loyal friend turned lover, but Brooke is the storm Ridge can't resist. And this time, he won't fight it. As Ridge moves forward with Brooke, perhaps hopeful for a real new beginning, Taylor's departure leaves a silence behind. One laced with regret and questions that may never be answered. Can Taylor ever forgive Ridge? Can she rebuild a life that doesn't revolve around waiting for a man who will never stop spinning in circles? Will she ever return? Or has Ridge's final choice carved a permanent scar that no apology can heal? For now, Taylor vanishes from the screen. Her absence is marked, her presence missed. Viewers may not see her for a while, as her story goes dormant during Jacqueline McInnes Wood's maternity leave. But Taylor's departure is not a footnote, it's a consequence. A result of years of emotional whiplash, of giving everything and receiving nothing permanent in return. Her retreat signals the end of an era, the collapse of a love triangle that's tormented fans for decades. And while Brooke steps into her long-desired happy ending, Ridge by her side once again, Taylor exits with nothing but heartbreak and bitter reflection. The scales have tipped, but the wounds remain. Ridge made his choice. Brooke got her man. And Taylor, as always, is left in the shadow of a love that was never really hers. In the latest firestorm consuming the bold and the beautiful, the unexpected return of Daphne Rose throws Los Angeles into chaos just as Carter Walton and Hope Logan are preparing to take the next step in their whirlwind romance. For weeks, tension had been building, whispers, glances, unspoken doubts, but no one saw this coming. Daphne, the same woman who once sabotaged Carter's previous engagement, reemerges in the Forrester orbit, unapologetically poised to reignite the flames she once set ablaze. And while her motives may be veiled behind carefully rehearsed smiles, her presence is a direct threat to the fragile happiness Carter and Hope are trying to build. What's worse, this isn't a random twist of fate. Steffi Forrester is behind Daphne's return, pulling strings and manipulating the chessboard to serve her own quiet agenda. It all begins when Carter proposes to Hope a bold, unexpected move that shocks everyone in the room, especially Hope. Still reeling from the wreckage of her past with Liam, Hope found solace in Carter's steadiness. He offered her a clean slate, a new kind of love, one untouched by years of back and forth, betrayal, and emotional exhaustion. At first, it felt like a dream. Something real and grounded. But dreams in Los Angeles rarely last, especially in a town where secrets and sabotage are currency. Enter Steffi. Despite her polished public image and attempts to keep family drama in check, Steffi never truly believed in Hope and Carter's relationship. To her, it was a bandage, a quick patch over deeper wounds neither of them had healed from. Hope, to Steffi, would never be free of Liam's shadow. And Carter? He was too loyal, too soft-hearted to see the inevitable collapse coming. So Steffi did what she always does, she intervened. Quietly. Strategically. And she made a call. Daphne Rose had been gone for months. After derailing Carter's last engagement, she'd vanished into whispers and scandal, her name spoken only in hushed tones. But she was never gone for good. Steffi knew exactly where to find her, and she knew how to bring her back. One invitation. One whispered promise. One carefully framed argument. Asterisk, come back. Set the record straight. Remind Carter who you really are to him. Asterisk, Daphne arrives without apology. She walks into Forrester Creations like she never left, eyes scanning the room, smile razor sharp. Her energy is different this time, less chaotic, more controlled. She's not here to beg. She's here to claim. From the moment Hope lays eyes on her, the tension is palpable. Hope recognizes the threat immediately. Daphne is not just a ghost from Carter's past, she's a bomb waiting to go off. Carter, ever the professional, tries to contain the situation. He insists to Hope that nothing has changed. That Daphne's presence means nothing. That his heart is set on the future, not the past. He doubles down on his commitment, assures Hope that the engagement still stands, that their wedding is still happening, that nothing can come between them. But Hope isn't buying it. Not entirely. Not when Daphne starts to show up everywhere. Daphne doesn't play coy. She inserts herself into Carter's orbit with calculated ease. Business lunches, charity events, impromptu visits to the office, each one seemingly innocent, each one strategically placed. She praises Hope's designs while questioning her devotion. She compliments Carter's loyalty while reminding him of their connection. She becomes the shadow Hope can't escape and the voice in Carter's head that won't go away. Hope begins to unravel. The calm, composed woman Carter fell in love with begins to crack under the weight of her insecurities. She lashes out at Steffi, accusing her of manipulation. She demands to know why Daphne is here, why now, why this close to the wedding. Steffi, with that smug Forrester detachment, simply shrugs. She claims she just wanted to give Daphne another chance. That Daphne deserves redemption. That maybe Hope should focus less on who's walking in and more on why she feels so threatened. But Hope isn't imagining it. Daphne is growing bolder by the day. She no longer hides her intentions. In private conversations with Carter, she leans in closer, her words heavy with subtext. She reminisces about late nights, private jokes, unfinished business. She makes it clear, if Carter wants to revisit what they once had, the door is wide open. She doesn't care about Hope's feelings. She doesn't care about their engagement. Daphne has one goal, reclaim what she lost. Carter, torn between the simplicity of the life he planned with Hope and the dangerous spark Daphne reignites, begins to falter. He doesn't admit it, not at first, but something changes in his demeanor. He's distracted. He's distant. He spends longer in the office, shorter nights with Hope. And when he does see Hope, he's defensive. Hope notices. She knows that look. She's seen it before. In Liam, in Thomas, in every man who said the right things, but let their hearts drift somewhere else. Still, Hope refuses to surrender. She clings to the engagement like a lifeline, determined to prove that she is not the woman who loses. Not again. She throws herself into wedding planning, schedules fittings, sends invites. But even the most extravagant details can't mask the sense that the walls are closing in. Daphne is circling, and everyone can feel it. Then comes the ultimate provocation. At a Forrester gala, packed with family, press, and fashion's elite, Daphne arrives in a gown that steals every glance. She walks directly to Carter and asks him to dance right in front of Hope. The room goes silent. Hope's chest tightens. Carter hesitates. And then, in the most damning moment of all, he says yes. It's one dance. Just a dance. But it's enough. Enough for whispers. Enough for camera flashes. enough to confirm every fear Hope has swallowed since Daphne returned. Later that night, Hope confronts Carter. She demands answers. She begs for reassurance. He gives her words, but they're flat, mechanical, as if even he doesn't believe them anymore. Meanwhile, Daphne pushes harder. She wants a real conversation. No more flirting. No more ambiguity. She tells Carter she's still in love with him. That she never stopped. That she made mistakes, but she's willing to fight for him now. She asks him to walk away from the wedding. To walk away from Hope. To choose passion over obligation. Carter is paralyzed. Torn. He still cares for Hope. But Daphne represents something wild, unfiltered, and dangerously enticing. And deep down, he's starting to wonder, did he propose to Hope out of love, or out of the need to move on? The pressure mounts. The wedding draws closer. Invitations are sent, the venue is secured, but whispers fill the air. Will Carter go through with it? Will Daphne crash the ceremony? Will Hope walk down the aisle only to be left standing alone? Daphne doesn't hide her plan. She intends to be there. Front row. Watching. Waiting. Just in case Carter changes his mind at the altar. Just in case he looks into Hope's eyes and doesn't see forever. Just in case he decides to follow his heart, even if it's the reckless choice. Hope, in a last act of desperation, goes to Steffi. She begs her to send Daphne away, to undo what she's done. But Steffi refuses. She doesn't deny her role. She simply says, if your love is real, Daphne shouldn't matter. But Hope knows better. Daphne does matter. Because Carter hasn't pushed her away. Because he hasn't chosen. Not really. And so, with every tick of the clock, the future of Hope and Carter hangs in the balance. A wedding may be on the calendar, but a storm brews underneath. Daphne's not done. Hope's unraveling. Carter is lost. And the day of reckoning draws near. Will love survive, or will the ceremony become a battlefield? One thing's for sure, when Daphne Rose walks into a room, no vow is safe. No promise is sacred. And no heart escapes untouched.